Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you one of Chris's telephones from California, and this is the Mickey Mouse telephone with the AT&T 210 handset, and it's in red. And basically these red 210 handsets were a really good telephone, and they're hard to come by in red because a lot of times the handset was misplaced from Mickey, and then those who are looking for this handset for Mickey pretty much have found all the ones that are available, and this red handset's pretty hard to find. So basically, there's no real description, although Chris probably told us what was wrong with it. But I talked to so many people, I can't remember everything, and so there's nothing in the note about what's wrong with this telephone. And Chris has also sent another telephone along with Mickey here, and it's a Kermit the Frog sitting in a chair. And I don't believe Chris sent the body to that phone, just the base. So we'll be getting to that one pretty soon here too. But anyway, I do believe that in this initial checkout video here, I think I kind of found what was going on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ring the phone real quick. I'll go ahead and answer it. Now, if you watch the analyzer, what's going to happen here is you're going to see that when I start dialing numbers, we have some dial tone here. Now, these switches were a pretty cool option on these telephones. You've got a low, medium, and loud. And this one seems to be working okay, but I want to go in and I want to resolder this switch, and I want to clean it, because it's been past experience with almost every one of these 210s that this switch will fail. And so I'm going to do a little preventive maintenance. Now, I felt like this one is kind of hard to move back and forth also. So even though it was a great ideal, there was some problems with this switch here. But in our initial checkout here, what I kind of see what could be the problem is we're getting receive and we're getting transmit. If you watch this red light on the analyzer, every time I transmit or modulate, you'll see this red light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what I think the problem is with this phone. Now, it doesn't do it every time, but I'm going to try to get it to do it. If you watch these numbers and how this telephone reacts, you're going to see the keypad act kind of funny. See that? See that 8 going crazy? See that 1? And then this 8. That 3. I think what we're going to find here is something has been spilt into the keypad of this board or in this phone. And the problem with the keypad in these telephones is that they are a conductive material drawn on a plastic board, if you want to call it a board, but it's actually the dial board, which is made of plastic, and there's conductive material drawn onto this board, and anything spilt on that can totally wipe out the traces, and so you got to be very careful. If you've never cleaned one of these, you may not want to try, because of the fact that if you wipe any of the conductive material off of this board, or this plastic board, whatever you want to call it, you're going to have a problem, because you can't just get these keypads anywhere for these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and take this telephone apart here real quick. I'm going to try to adjust this a little so that you can see it better as I'm working on it. What we want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and unplug the telephone from the analyzer. See if we can't get this telephone apart real quick. I'll try to show you this plastic board that I'm talking about. I keep calling it a board, but you know, it doesn't seem right to call it a board, but that's basically you know, it's the diagram for the conductive material for the number plate. Kind of set this aside here. And I also have noticed on these 210s, which they are a very, very good telephone. Just you know, one of the last of the good telephones. You know, they've got some age on them now, and basically what happens is when I go into these telephones, I like to go through the board and resolder any bad connections that I see, or anything that's loosened up with time, especially this switch here on the side. So I go into that for sure. Now we're going to try to pull this all apart here. Might be a good idea to take the bottom part of this off. Now you could have a lot of little pieces and parts fall out of this, because there's a spring-loaded hook switch here, and you just have to be very careful. So, I mean, if this is not something that you do every day, you probably want to stay away from it, because, you know, parts aren't real easy to find for these, and if anything goes wrong, you're going to have some problems. So anyway, what we want to do now is I want to pop this board out. And as you can see here, it's flexible. And that's because what's sitting in here is a conductive material. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Now, not only is it pretty difficult to get this back in the ribbon cable, or whatever you want to call it, back into this plug, because see, it's plastic. If any of this conductive material that you see on this plastic that they have for the board gets wiped out, yeah, it'll be a major problem for you, because that conductive material will have to be drawn back on. We want to try to get this open here. And I can already tell by the coloring of this that there has been something spilt into this unit. I want to pull a light over. I want to check something here real quick. I don't really want to wash out the video, but I've got to do something here, and it's it may be a little easier to see that than it looks to take it apart, because it's not that simple. So now what we're getting to is we're getting into the actual keypad, and here's a housing for it, and it's pretty sticky, so that's all going to have to be cleaned up. Now this is just a rubber keypad here, but it doesn't have any conductive material on it. It's sticky, but that's not the problem. This is going to be your problem right here. And this is where it gets a little tricky. Let's take a look at this. It all folds up. Now, as you can see, this liquid that's been spilt into this unit is already starting to work on wiping out the traces. And I want to take a better look at this. You can already see that it's starting to work on these traces, so it's a good thing that we got to this, because I don't think there's any numbers that have been destroyed here or any traces, but it's been working on it, and like anything else that has a voltage running through it, what's going to happen over time with this material, whatever it may be, soda, coffee, some kind of liquid, will destroy this keypad. Now, I can tell you, you're just not going to get these too many places. You'd have to take one out of another phone, because you're not going to get this in spare parts somewhere unless you just fell upon it, you know, and just got really super lucky. So now, since this is the initial checkout, what we're going to have to do is I'll probably do a final checkout on this Mickey. As soon as we get to this and clean all this up, we need to clean our keypad up. We need to clean our housing up. It's all sticky. And you can see that actually sticking. So that's, and the green is basically the copper here. This is plastic with copper on the back of it. Has just it's turned green because of the liquid that's been spilt in it. So we want to get this squared away. And as I said earlier, if you've never done this before, it's probably, unless you're very, very careful, you probably don't even want to attempt it. Because if this gets ruined, you have to know what material to use. To see, a lot of these drawn-on conductive materials can actually eat this plastic. And so you'll put it on, and all of a sudden, why is that eating a hole in there? Well, you got to be careful, and you got to know what to use. It's not a simple deal, and just cleaning it is not a simple deal, because you got to be very careful. If you wipe any of these traces out, you're gonna cause yourself a lot more work, and you may even ruin the keypad or this conductive plate here, plastic plate. And so if you ruin that, it's over. You'll have to get another one, and that's just the way it is. The only thing that this phone had a fallback on, basically because it was such a good phone, was the design that they used here with this plastic keypad. And they should have used a board with regular contacts, but they went to this plastic for some reason. And maybe it was a thickness problem. I'm not sure. In the design of the phone, they needed to use this or something. But I call it a poor design. But the phone is an excellent phone. So if your keypad's in good shape, this phone lasts for a long time. They have their little issues with them that go on with them sometimes. But for the most part, this was one of the last good phones that was even made. So this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. This is Chris's telephone from California, a Mickey Mouse. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.